Good morning. This is for the week of November 5th through the 11th. We will start with databases, which is the way that most businesses organize and use the data that they receive. So we're working on the information management objective. Be sure you first start by reading the overview and your learning outcomes. The first part of this week, you should read the chapter. It's very important, although we did cover a little bit about databases and what databases are and what they're used for, and you may want to go back to that if you're not sure what a database is. But we will, in the reading of the chapter, that will help you to understand the uses of databases. Very important uses, I may add. Complete the training. When you finish reading the chapter, be sure that you complete all the training and that you have 100% on it. It will not record a grade if it is not 100%. That means go back to any of the tasks that you may have missed or accidentally skipped over. And then finally, you'll do a project. It's not difficult for this first time. Click Next and to get started. There's where you will read the chapter and where you'll access the training. And finally, we'll go into the project and look at it real quickly. Databases may be a little more foreign to you if you have not ever taken a course that included databases. And sometimes the courses in the high schools don't always teach databases, so you want to keep that in mind. Of course, open your instruction sheet first, which I just did, and then open your start file, which has your name in it. And then also download any other like support files, which this one is. And although it put it in my download folder, I would like to save it to my desktop so I know where it is. And I'm going to close it because I don't need it right now, but I do need this one and my instructions. Okay, so I'm going to save this also. Always save it exactly how they instruct you on the instruction sheet, which is usually just to change that to, and I'm going to put mine on my desktop for quick use. Enable content. Databases are more secure than a Word document, Excel document even, and so because of that, we always hear about databases being breached, so we know they are more secure, or they're at least attempting to make them. So because of that, you may find a few little quirks in databases as you go, but they'll explain those. Okay, so I've saved the... Okay, so the instructions have us start with the table. So we go to Create and Table, and then we need to save that object. It's not the database that we're saving. We've already saved it, but we're saving an object within the database. And we're saving it as TBL. That three-letter beginning tells you what type of object it is, and then client. And OK, and it saved it. and there it is as TBL client. And if table 1 is still there, delete it. But you shouldn't have a table 1. Change the data type of the client ID field to short text. I skipped one. Change the name of the ID field in the table to client ID. So I can click this up here and change it, or I can go to view and design view and change it there, which is the easiest way to change it. So I'm going to type in client in front of ID, and then the next instruction is to change this to short text. And then create the following fields in the table. So I click underneath that and start with first name. And they all want them to be short text data type. So I just skip over that. Last name, accept the default. Address, city, state, and zip. And of course, don't type the period. Okay, then I'm going to go back to dash view. Yes, I want to save it. And then you'll enter the records shown on the table. They're just 2 records to enter. So that kind of gets you started. A table houses all the information for a database. We have just created the fields, and then we've created, or you will put in the records. So if you work for a company that needs all that information, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, and that's pretty basic, then the people's names would go in as the records. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be grading or giving you feedback on Project 1 as you get them done. So it's a good idea to read today and Tuesday, do the training Wednesday, start on the project by Thursday so that I can give you some feedback. Hope you have a great week.